tips to continue putting us first and heal instead of monitoring his growth and effort. So there could be a lot of variables in this situation. I am going to talk about this as you are married. If you are single and this person is already cheating, already looking at porn, already has a really bad addiction, my personal opinion is to leave, because after you marry that person, the problem is only going to get 100 times worse. And then you have kids involved, your finances are linked, you have the same mortgage payment. It's just a lot more complicated to set boundaries with that person if this is already them showing you their true colors. There's this saying, if people show you who they are, believe them. If they tell you who they are, believe them. So if there's not this desire for them to personally change, there's no reason for them to change at that point. So let's say that you are married to this person and all of this has come out, the infidelity, the cheating, the porn addiction, and it's insane. And you both are trying to make the relationship work in this variable. Now, there are a couple things that could be underlying. Most of this healing is going to have to come from you and not micromanaging them. That's why I always tell women, like, set your boundaries. I have a boundary sheet in my bio to get you started on that if you've never set boundaries or you think you have set boundaries. A lot of people haven't and think they have. So start setting your boundaries with them, number one. Number two, don't try to micromanage their healing. That's not your job. And you can lead a horse to water, can't make it drink. You can try controlling people, you can't control people. And ultimately, you cannot want it more than they want it. You cannot want it more than they want it. Which is very, very difficult because their decisions affect your life, affect your circumstances, affect all of the investment you've poured into the relationship, and you don't want to let it go. However, the reality is you can't micromanage somebody to do what you need them to do in order for you to heal. So a lot of this can be linked to codependency. And with codependency, I'm not talking about like that it's your fault that any of this happened, because it's absolutely not. With codependency, though, you can have this inward trauma from previous trauma to want to control your environment. So if you can control your environment, there's a place of safety in that, because I will avoid getting hurt. I will avoid future trauma if I can control my environment. And the reality is, that's not actually possible. It's something that we tell ourselves or something that we believe, but we actually cannot control our environment. There's too many variables and unexpected things that can come our way, and we ultimately cannot control a person's choices or decisions. So this is why your own healing and prioritizing it is what's necessary for you. Let go of the control that you have over them. Let go of all the micromanaging you have over them. Like, set your boundaries and say, this is what I expect. And if these things are not done, I will have to reconsider being in this relationship. I will have to decide if I need to separate or if I actually need to ask you for a divorce. And so from there, your healing journey is going to look like prioritizing your therapy, understanding toxic behavior patterns and how to communicate and set your boundaries with them, understanding what gaslighting and all these other things mean, because we think we understand them from watching a couple of videos on TikTok, but when we actually do the work, there's a whole lot more to it. Reading books, listening to podcasts, surrounding yourself with people who are stronger emotionally, who are navigating healing journeys, who've gone down this path before. And you're already kind of doing that the right way, because, most of you are attracted to looking at content like mine or other people's content. But surround yourself with a network like that. Now, the step further with that is to surround yourself with support. It's very isolating to go through this if you're doing it on your own. More than likely, most of you are not talking about this publicly or with your best friends or with your family because you don't want to be shamed or judged. I hear a lot of women who do that. So this can be a very isolating feeling, and you kind of just want to pretend nothing happened. If you try to do that, this will happen again, inevitably. So prioritize your healing, prioritize your therapy, find a support group. You can join mine if you would like. You can find a coach or mentor. That's also something that I provide. You can take time for yourself in learning how to re-identify who it is that you are. You can do so many things with your healing journey. And then if you're working on the relationship, this is a really good tip I'm going to give you. My husband actually here who's driving wanted to share this tip. One of the things we did to heal our marriage was that we took dates once a week. Without the kids, we took dates once a week, and we would flip. Like, I would plan a date and he would plan a date. And And that was so healing for us as a couple to rekindle our intimacy, rebuild trust, rebuild our intimacy, because we were learning who we were in therapy, but then also able to come together and not talk about the trauma, not talk about the cheating or the porn addiction, and just actually get to know each other once again and to bond. So hope you found that helpful.